VJ Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funnies, Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Who the fuck is this? Paging me at 5:46 in the morning. Crack of dawning, now I'm yawning. Wipe the cold out my eye. See who's this paging me and why? It's my nigga Pop from the barber shop. Told me
What up, everybody, man? You know I had to give y'all something funky, man. It's 1 a.m. on the dot out here in Los Angeles, sunny California, man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to VJ's Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I, of course, am your host, VJ Vernon Husky, the Big Vanilla Funny, the Big Vanilla Handsome, the Big Vanilla Biggie, the Vanilla Shack, the Creamy Kobe, the Blue Eye Barkley, Mr. Never Shut Up, VA's Top Talk Boy, and the Big Vanilla Color Card. Because sometimes in sports and sports talk, you got to play that color card, and when you got to play it, I am your Big Vanilla Vegas dealer. Great show for you guys lined up, man. I want to thank everybody that's listening right now live on Spreaker.com and iHeartRadio. I want to thank everybody that is tuned in live on my StreamYard and my YouTube channel. And I want to thank everybody over here that is tuned in right here on my IG. I've been drinking. I've been chilling with Mary Jane. So you already know the show is about to get deep and it's about to get fresh. I'm going to entertain you. I'm going to make you laugh. I'm going to make you mad. I'm going to make you smile. I'm going to make you thinking differently. I'm going to make you change your opinion. I'm going to make you stick with your opinion. But at the end of the day, you will respect my skills and you will respect how we do things here at Vesson Sports Network. Right into it. Opening rant. I have always been the sports fan guy, whether it be baseball, basketball, football, track, NASCAR, golf, does not matter. In life, with family, friends, colleagues, employees, bosses, workers, cousins, sister, brother, neighbors, doesn't matter. I cannot stand convenient and purposely stupidity. When you decide to make certain decisions about certain things, just kind of is what it is. The I didn't know, the I don't know, the they always say funny joke is nobody heard you more clear than a motherfucker that say after your question. Nobody's heard you more clear in life than the one that go Nah, they heard you. They heard you. That's what mean. Means they heard you. I don't like convenient stupidity. And I definitely don't like convenient stupidity when it comes to sports because some people, network, media, fans, bloggers, podcasters, sports talk show hosts, journalists, big network, small network, medium network, independent network are sitting at home in your basement or your living room or your home studio doing what you do. Everybody can either use that against you or use it for you. We, a lot of times in sports talk today, use it for people. We use it to help defend them. Convenient stupidity. Oh, I didn't know that coach was in danger of getting fired, but yeah, we got my guy in here that kind of leaked out that I like. But I didn't have any decision on those trades. I didn't have anything to do with the trade. I don't know any. Convenient stupidity. Oh, I didn't know what I put in my body, and I didn't know what I did this, and I didn't know, and I didn't know. Convenient stupidity. I didn't know I was supposed to clean my room, Daddy. Convenient stupidity. You don't know you're supposed to clean your room? Are you always supposed to clean your room? You parents that are listening right now? Do you? Luis Estrada, my homeboy from Spectrum Sports, is listening. He has a beautiful daughter named Abby. Shout out to my girl, Abby. Straight A student. Every time I get a video on his phone from him, it's her getting some type of school award. That's a smart girl right there. She gonna be great in life. She come from great people. But he's one of my friends. He's a parent. He's got a kid. Is Abby allowed to tell you? I didn't know, Daddy. You knew. I don't like convenient stupidity. And then I don't like the defense of convenient stupidity. And I fight in between it because I try to stay the course that I always am with sports. I always tell people I can change parts of my opinion by different information or by other people that I talk to and deliver their debate or deliver their opposition to what I'm saying in a particular way. I can always listen to that. I don't have a problem listening to you. And sometimes I could take something from you. Doesn't mean I'm going to change my whole perception. But if you have me kind of change a little bit of the door locks and stuff, I'm not repainting the house. I like that color. I picked that color out. I got my ass out there in the hot ass sun and painted that damn house. I'm not changing that for you because you came along and said the color don't look good. But maybe the border frame of the window could change a different color. Maybe I did that wrong. Maybe I put the wrong type of colored numbers on your house, for your address, right? So if it's 2365, you go get a 2 and a 3 and a 6 and a 5. Maybe I chose the wrong color for that. Maybe I shouldn't have got the gold ones because over years they fade and become brassy and rusty looking. And then you're too busy with the kids and you don't get to change it. So it makes the house look worse. It's not a big part of the house, but it's a little part that makes your house look worse. Your house in sports talk is your argument, is your debate, is your rebuttal, is your opinion. That's your house. I'm not going to change my whole damn house for you, but I will listen to you. I might change certain little things here, but convenient stupidity is not one of them. I'm not changing that I don't like and I don't listen to, and I have no hard, sad feelings or feel sorry for anybody who's using convenient stupidity. It's not to call people stupid. And if I have to explain that to my fan base by now, then tune into somebody else. I'm not your guy. Tune into somebody, because I can't be explaining myself to y'all all the damn time. I'm not from the cancel culture shit where you got to explain yourself or you have to set up all these verbal variables to get your point out. Well, before, let me say this, or let me preface my opinion by saying, no, here's my opinion, this is what it is. Now, if you have a problem with it or you have a rebuttal to it, you're more than welcome to ask and say it. Don't take what I say and then run. Hold on, you don't like it or feel something about it, ask me. I'll explain it to you. Even the explanation, you still might go, oh, okay, yeah, I don't fuck with that. Okay, cool. But at least it's clear. There's a clear understanding there. That's how sports debate used to be, and that's how it used to go. And now we start to use convenient stupidity to defend people. We did it for Sammy Sosa. We did it for Lance Armstrong. We did it for Mark McGwire. We've done it for countless NFL players, even though their convenient stupidity of choice was probably like cocaine. Michael Irvin, Darryl Strawberry, Dwight Gooden admitted, Mike Tyson admitted cocaine users in the prime of their athletic life. They're not the only ones. Somebody put them onto it. And somebody else from the athletic world was with them while they were doing it. And I will bet money not everybody said no. Somebody else did it. It's the culture. But don't give me convenient stupidity. I didn't know it was coke I was snorting. Going through a bad time in my life. So are we all. Even the richest of the rich. The famous of the famous. When the cameras are on and the magazines show up and a paparazzi, a pizzeria, whatever the fuck that shit's called, and the networks are there, they know how to put on the smile, they know how to put on the face, they know how to put on the mask. They're professionals at it. It's what they do. Some of them go home to the biggest damn houses with the biggest breasted woman, the biggest booty woman laying there, or the finest blonde with blue eye hair, blonde hair, blue eye laying there and is miserable as hell. Beautiful home, kids, and all of that shit, miserable as hell. When the cameras come on, things change. When the cameras go off, things get real. We all have problems. But we all aren't allowed to go break like an open rule or use convenient stupidity and then be able to have people feel sorry for us about it. I look at sports like I look at life in a lot of ways where, to me, it's clean and clear across the board. There's no variables. You don't know. By the time you get to like 21, 22, you know what to do and not to do in your life. Now, whether you decide to make them decisions or not, it's on you. We all made some dumb decisions when we were young. And a lot of us had to pay for them. It kills me when I see older people go, what did you do at 21? A whole fucking lot that I didn't get caught for and I got away with. And it's a lot of stuff that I got caught for and had to pay for. And not many people felt sorry for me. And I missed out on shit. Oh, you didn't miss out on it. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It was my Olympics. How do you know? Sorry to hit y'all with so much psychological sports warfare this morning at 1 a.m. back east. Well, 1:09 now. But it just is what it is. I don't like convenient stupidity in sports. And Sha'Carri Richardson has gotten herself, and to be honest with you, some really light work. This isn't even deep. She's not being investigated. She's not being indicted. She's not being sought after by the FBI or anything like that. Because if anything, all right, fine, catch me blowing some trees. Don't catch me with any performance enhancing. And if I say no, the government comes after you. Marijuana, 30 days, can't run the 100, but your suspension will be up and you still may be able to run the 4x1. So the narrative of she's missing the Olympics is not true. It is still eligible for her to be able to run the 4x1. It's the last race of the Olympics, the men and women's 4x100 relay. It's the last event of every summer games. Been that way for centuries, decades, long time. So she's not missing the Olympics, but convenient stupidity has played its role here. And now we have very, very, very few celebrities who just want to be honest and just say, look, it sucks. Testing for weed sucks. It's stupid. You're allowed to feel that way. You're allowed to say that. It's stupid as hell. They need to stop. Because you are costing someone this great opportunity, but she's costing herself this great opportunity because you already know they're going to test you and you smoke it anyway. And you get caught, and now you can't run the 100. I tell you right now, she wasn't winning the gold medal in the 100. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price from Jamaica is winning the gold medal in the 100. Guys, trust me on this. I'll put money on it. Anybody hit me up right now. Anybody could put money on it. Anybody could bet me. We'll put $100 on the women's final. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price from Jamaica gets there. She's winning it. She's beating Sha'Carri Richardson. Sha'Carri would have to dope, and we'll get to that in a minute. She would truly have to dope to get to beat her. She'll get in the finals, but she's gonna have to juice to beat her. She's almost a second ahead of her best record. So let's go to this. It's low hanging fruit to talk about. Oh, she knew and she didn't do this. And I've already covered all of that. Celebrities are going to say what celebrities say. I know we want to make this into a black thing, and I'm black, and anybody that knows me knows that I'm as black. I'm as black power as they come. It's always the light skinned guy, right? It's always the light skinned. It's the Malcolm X, right? Red. It's what's the guy name that's out right now? Light skinned dude. Sean, I forget his name. The guy, he's an activist, light-skinned brother with the wavy hair and the glasses. I forget the guy's name, but him, another light-skinned brother, hardcore black activist. Angela Ray from CNN, light-skinned woman, real hardcore about her blackness. So I'm them. Like, real talk, I'm them. But I just don't think we should be using it in this sense. Now, the way they paraded her on TV this morning, or yesterday morning, now that it's after 1 a.m. here in Los Angeles, the way they paraded her around on TV yesterday really pissed me off. She looked super uncomfortable. Where the fuck is her team? Where's her team? Somebody tweeted, man, look at all that energy. She can't stand still. She's got so much energy. No, it was uncomfortable for her to have to sit there and explain that and relive that the reason why she did it is because she had found out that her biological mother had died. And she was dealing with a lot. Now, I'll touch on that for a sample. I told someone earlier today, I wouldn't have never even told them that. And I'm not saying that it's not believable. But to go to the extent of that being the reason you were smoking, listen, look at her lips, okay? She smokes weed. She blows trees. That wasn't the first time of her blowing trees. The color long nails, the lace front, colored wigs that's hot among that in that generation, that age range, that age gap, the way the women and the girls of that dress, she is all of that. She's got a great body. She looks like a real freaking athlete. She blows trees. Look at her lips. This isn't nothing new for her. So I honestly, I'd have lied. I wouldn't have told him it had nothing to do with that. I'd have told him I took an edible that I didn't know was an edible. I ate a brownie or I ate some gummy bears. Somebody gave me I ate some gummy bears. I thought they were nutritional gummy bears or such and such gummy bears. And they were, and you know, that's probably where the test came from. And I thought about it, but I figured, I wasn't going to say, I didn't know to say anything and blah. She could have played that card. That's what I would have said. I know many were saying, oh, you would have lied, you would lie. Yeah, you always lie. You don't never say yeah. Not as athletes, and that's just hardcore sports. And see, that's what separates me from some other sports talk show people. They wouldn't say that, but that's the truth. When has anybody ever come out and admitted what they've done in sports? Name me the guy. Name me the guy. Not even my guy Kobe. The reason why he came out is because they found his DNA. So it's like, shit, let me go to Staples, hold my wife's hand, cry, get a hug from Magic and everybody. And it's funny, people go, oh, y'all embrace Kobe after that. Y'all embrace. Listen, when these superstars see other superstars mess up and have to do with women or multiple women, trust me, they doing the same thing. They just didn't get caught. That's why they come put their arm around them. That's why Tiger has certain guys come put their arm around him. Some people try to play him like, yeah, you're cheating on your wife and you're Get the fuck up. Shut up. Mr. Perfect. That's why I like perfect athletes. He never this. He never this. He never this. I don't like him. He got closet. He got big skeletons. He got big skeletons. Any dude does, hey, he doesn't do this and he doesn't do this and he's a good husband. He got big skeletons. Trust me. Especially if he's popular. Can't turn all this down, man. Stop it. Stop it. Sometimes these couples, celebrity athlete couples, they have rules. Listen, don't make me look stupid. From the wife to him, don't make me look stupid. Don't be out here have blah, blah, blah. So then you got to clean it up. You got to have a team. You got to make sure you got the money. That's how this works. But Sha'Carri, she's from, like, if you really check her background, check her, she from the community, man. She our people. This ain't nothing new. She blew trees. I'd have told them, somebody gave me an edible. Somebody gave me an edible. If it's performance enhancing, they always say it was a supplement that I was taking. I didn't know. But they say then that's convenient stupidity. You're supposed to check everything you take. So you want me to just think that you don't give a damn and you just took something and without checking it? Then that means you really don't care about your career. So it can't be that, right? But that's convenient stupidity. And it's not such a sad thing. She's going to be able to run in the 100 again. I mean, if you're legitimately this fast and it ain't no fuddy-duddy, no Balco shit going on in the background, you're going to run again. Who runs one Olympics? Who runs one Olympics? These women, these men in 100, they come in. We're going to go through some times and go through some other stuff. Because I have a spin that I want to put on this, but I'm not going to do it just yet. But I got a spin I want to put on this because I don't think that this is the story that everybody else thinks it is. I think there's something else going on here. I really do. And we'll get to that in a second. But she is from the community. This isn't the first time she blew trees. It's not the end of the world. We can't defend convenient stupidity. She broke the rule. The rule is stupid. You're allowed to say that. Ladies and gentlemen, the rule is dumb. The rule is stupid. All marijuana has done in this country is lock up a bunch of black men and women and Hispanics. That's the only bad thing marijuana has ever done to the United States of America is lock up a bunch of black men and women and Latino men and women. By the droves, by the hundreds of thousands has locked them up. That's all marijuana has ever done. Marijuana's at parties, marijuana's in the courthouses, marijuana's in the police system, marijuana's everywhere, marijuana's in your food. Now you can sit out in front of restaurants and smoke your marijuana. You can smoke your weed at the park. You can smoke your weed at the beach. You can buy it on any corner. Virginia, my home state, is pushing to have legal marijuana before 2021 is out. That's in 6 months. They're pushing fast forward. Must be something coming up in 2022. Them primary elections are coming around. So they need it. Let's get the marijuana. Let's take care of that. Let's get this marijuana out. Let's take care of that. Let's get these votes from these voters. Yeah, well, won't be as potent as the shit you're buying from Ray Ray or from Jesus or Joker. It won't be as potent as that. But we know sooner or later you guys won't know the difference because if we spread it through the city, sooner or later everybody thinks it's the same weed. It was good weed. That's how they did out here in California. You still gotta go to Smiley. You go to the Mexicans to get the trees here. Because the nice little pretty dispensary, $80 an eighth, 23, 25, 26% THC. Anything, over 30 is running you in the 70s and 80s and 30% THC. Especially on a sativa. But Sha'Carri's from that. All that I'm talking, she comes from that. You can tell, look at her fan, and it's not a bad thing. But testing for weed is stupid. But if you know you can't smoke it before a huge event, I get it for a job. I've smoked for a job and then took a masking and then drank a masking agent to pass a piss test. I've done that and passed. Wasn't even tripping because the bottle said guaranteed. I said, okay, well, that means I could sue if I get caught. So you're not going to put that on your bottle unless it's really guaranteed. It was guaranteed. Right on through. So they have that stuff out. Like if you want a regular job, can't do it for the Olympics. This is just one time. It's a one-time dream. She'll go back again, but this is your first time. You don't know what's going to happen in the future, but you could go right now to Tokyo and run. You have to have a team around you, or somebody has to be like, no, you can't do this. We got to find another way. Let's go to the spa. Let's go work out. Let's go have dinner. Let's go on a quick little trip or vacation or something. Let's go. If you're that depressed, we can't do something that's going to jeopardize Nike, who she's been a Nike athlete since 2019, and Tokyo, where the games are being played this month that was rescheduled from last year. We got to go do something else. We cannot mess up this opportunity. This opportunity, we have to keep. But I want to flip it, though. Because I think there's more here. And I've been waiting all day long. I've been watching. I've been reading. I've been listening. I've been checking out Sean King. That's who it is. My man, IMB DB7. Thanks, bro. Yeah, Sean King. Sean King, sorry for the cut through right there, but the light-skinned dude who's the activist, Sean King, that's his name. Appreciate you, player. Sage is up. What's up, Sager? I call him Sage Seasoning. That's his nickname, and I'm the only person that calls him that. So if I ever call his phone and I'd be like, yo, what's up, Sage Seasoning? Here I know VJ. Here I know VJ on the phone. Here I know the Big Vanilla Sports Kings on the other line. That's what you got to do. You got to give people nicknames as your friend or people you like or your associates or colleagues you deal with that only they're going to know when you say it. They know who the hell is only VJ called me that. Who the hell is calling me Dirk? I got a friend back home who looks like Dirk Nowitzki. I call him Dirk. But he doesn't really look like Dirk Nowitzki. Somebody said it at a party. I was really drunk, so I busted out laughing. I just never forgot it, so I call him Dirk. And every time I call him Dirk, when I go home and I call him Dirk, everybody laughs because everybody remembers that night. And he looks nothing like Dirk Nowitzki. He's white, but he doesn't look like Dirk Nowitzki. But to this day, I still call him Dirk, and I'm the only one that calls him Dirk. But I want to flip this around. I've been waiting all day. I've been waiting to deliver my opinion of what I think is really happening here. And nobody from network, TV, radio, blog, podcast, radio show, paper, journalist, nobody, celebrity, nobody's put this thought process out. And I'll start here. I watched the Olympic trials. And I watched when she ran the 100. When she ran the 100, I immediately turned and looked at Raynell. And I said, I hope she's clean. That was my first reaction. My first reaction to watching her run in a race that she needed to get to the Olympics. I turned right to Raynell and I said, I hope she's clean. I've seen enough sports in my lifetime. I'm in my mid-40s. I've seen enough sports in my lifetime. I know dirty or can be perceived as dirty when I see it. Because I've seen it so many times. If you see a girl who acts a certain way on a certain date and you go through 2 or 3 of those, over 10 to 15 years, meeting women on certain dates and going on certain dates with them, those 3 characteristics, those 3 women, if they pop up, you'll see them. You'll see them like this, like I've seen this before. I already know what this is going to be. Now, there might be a little different nuances, but at the end of the day, it's gonna end the same as all those other ones ended. Or it's going to end around about the same as all those other ones ended. Because you've seen it before. And I'm not saying she's dirty. But what I do believe is happening right now. And if I'm off, fine. But man, if I cash in. I was on Fox Sports Radio last week on the Odd Couple of Chris Broussard filling in for Rob Parker on vacation. And I told him I don't like low-hanging fruit in sports talk. I reach. I reach. I don't care. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right, oh, you guys are right on the fruit that's right there, man. I got that big-ass beautiful tangerine way up there. I want that. I want that one right there, man. That one's closest to the sun. It's getting the most energy. The less bugs can get up there to mess with it. That's a pure piece of fruit right there. I don't like low-hanging fruit. It got gnats and mosquitoes fly down here, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything that falls off the branches falls on this fruit down here. You got to wash and clean this fruit 10 times more than that big-ass, beautiful tangerine that's up in them branches. I'm going to get that one. That's how I do my opinions with sports. So this is a huge reach, but I think that they are investigating her for PEDs. And the weed test came up. It's enough to snag her now and get her out of the 100. Because maybe they are trying to clean up the sport. I don't know. I know cycling's dirty. I know international soccer's corrupted. I know the NBA officiating is corrupted. I know that baseball has steroids and sticky stuff for pitchers to make certain pitches do certain shit on certain parts of the game against certain hitters because the analytics tell you this and the left-hander and the right-hander and the 2-1 count and the 3 count, 3-2 count, the 3-1 count, the 0-2 count, the 0-1 count. Got to throw this pitch. Well, got to throw this pitch. Let me rub the hat. Let me get some of the sticky shit. Let me get some of the sticky shit on it because I needed to drop on. Everybody's swinging for the fence, so it's got to drop right there because everybody's swinging for the fences. Strikeouts are out. Pop-ups are up. Strikeouts are up. So there's always cheating. And when you can see it, and then you do some research, I'm going to give you guys some numbers here. When you see it, then you start to see some of these numbers, it kind of makes you go, Old school Arsenio Hall. Things that make you go, And when she got to LSU, Sha'Carri Richardson's 100 time was 11.28. It was 11 seconds, 0.28. There had been 2,218 faster runs in a 100 than that time right there. I say that to preference. We all know everybody's chasing FloJo. FloJo's still the world record. She has the top 3. All in 1988. One at the trials. Her fastest was at the trials. She didn't even run her world record at the Olympics. That's a very big misconception. She didn't run her world record at the Olympics. And I actually think I can back check that for you guys right now. I'll find it in a second here because I had it pulled up and I was working on it earlier. So let me see here. I know Radio World, please bear with me here for a second. All-time women's 100 meter times. And we'll bring this up and we'll add this into the show because I had this stat up. I had this up earlier already. So, okay, there we go. So I just wanted to make sure that I am correct. Exactly. Okay, so I am correct. And her world records were in Indianapolis that year in 1988. Those were the Olympic trials. Those were Olympic trials, and they were going into the Olympics that were in September that year. The Olympic trials were in July. On the 16th and the 17th, back-to-back days, in the first round and in her first quarterfinal, she ran a 10.61 and a 10.49, which is still the 2 fastest times of all time. And so when she got to the Olympics, the 10.63 of the 10.62 that everyone loves to show for highlights, that wasn't even the world record. So she didn't even run her fastest time at the Olympics. That is almost a full second faster. Her world time is almost a full second faster than Sha'Carri Richardson's time when she was at LSU at 11.28. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price is fourth with a 10.63. That's why I feel like if she runs well at the Olympics, she's going to win the gold medal. I don't think there's anybody that's going to be faster than her and run the gold and win a gold medal. Carmelita Jeter, she runs a 10.74 in 09. She ran a 10.83 3 other times. So that's like her range she's in. FloJo also in 88. Now remember, guys, there was questions about FloJo Juice, and I know we're not supposed to say. Once again, I'm a different guy because she's has gone on to be with the Lord, and she died kind of early age. She didn't die middle age or when FloJo died. It was like a shock to the world when FloJo died. Because she wasn't old. People didn't see her as an old person about to die. And I believe she was maybe in her late 40s or early 50s when FloJo died. I'll double check that also too. But if you remember, there were people who wanted her tested, and they said, this is just too fast. We've never seen this before. I mean, if you think about it, Marion Jones ran a 1070 in 99. She ran 1071 twice in 98. She ran a 1072 three times also in 98. And she cheated. She took performing enhancing drugs. She went to prison for lying about it. And the best she could run was a 1070. And she did that once in 1071, 1072, 5 more times respectively, 2 and 3, as far as the 7-2 and 7-1 go. Sha'Carri ran a 10.72, which is the 6th fastest woman ever, coming down from an 11.28 while she was in college. One thing about sports that I'm also not tricked by is the term "he came out of nowhere." Nobody comes out of nowhere. There are so many prodigy stories. There are so many links. There are so many websites. There are so many shows. Anybody with a laptop and a phone can promote themselves into becoming a millionaire, multi-millionaire, star athlete, actor, comedian, whatever you want to do. We have the technology now to put yourself out there and people see you coming. There is no out of nowhere. Tiffany Haddish didn't come out of nowhere. Will Smith didn't come out of nowhere. Denzel Washington didn't come out of nowhere. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Wayne Gretzky, Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, Herschel Walker, Ken Griffey Jr. Who came out of nowhere? You knew about these guys early, and now you know about it when they're in high school. LaMelo Ball, Rookie of the Year. We were watching him as a freshman in high school. His dad was telling us 5 years ago, my boy, my baby boy, he gonna be the one. You watch what I tell my baby boy gonna be the one. Never lost. Undefeated. I'd have beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. I like LeVar because he's a black man taking care of his sons. All that other shit I don't care about. Like, so what? You do the same. I'm promoting my kid. And if we could get in, eventually I'll go away. Eventually I'll go away. But my job is done. Y'all love Melo. Y'all can't stay off of him. Y'all love Lonzo. Y'all can't stay off of him. I did my job. And they're set for life. I can go chill now. I ain't got to say nothing no more. And just go run my company and keep building the BBB brand as big as I can. That's it. I'm good. But you have to see sports for what it is, and nobody comes out of nowhere. Sha'Carri Richardson kind of came out of nowhere. And if you have to follow like women's track tight, which most people in most of our country and most Americans don't, to even know that she was LSU's best runner, apparently, right? National recognition, national awards as a track athlete. But they have that every year. They give those awards out every year. Not every year those people come springing right out of college into the Olympics. You got to run some international races. You got to run some races in the nation. You got to do pin relays. You got to run over and the Monaco relays. And what's the another one? There's another one over there in Paris, which is a big track event in Monaco. And then there's one in Barcelona, and there's one in Rome. Like there's some ill track races that you got to run. And she hadn't run those yet. And you show up here, and it's like, okay. And because of her style, because of the way she did it, and because of the way sports media packaged it and put it together, everybody took notice. But what all people also took notice was 10.72 from 11.28. This is not about marijuana. They're trying to figure out or catch if she's juicing or not. They just happen to catch the weed, and the weed is like, oh shit, okay. So we could just keep her out at 100, and we're still going out. We're still investigating this. Mark my words, people. She is being investigated privately and quietly for performance enhancing drugs because her time really shocked people. 6th fastest time ever at 21. Youngest Olympian, like youngest track Olympian, I think it is. And I mean, you're talking about a list of Carmelita Jeter, FloJo, Marion Jones, Gail Devers, Gwen Torrance. I mean, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. These are some fast women. And once again, like I said, Marion Jones ran a 10.70, which is 0.2 seconds, 0.02 seconds faster than Sha'Carri Richardson's 10.72. And she cheated to get that. That's it, and I'm not saying she's cheating. But my initial reaction was, I hope she's clean. Because let me tell you what happens in sports a lot. And the reason why I said it was because of her jubilation. You could be happy. Usain Bolt pounded his chest, did the Bolt sign and all of that shit. But it was a way that he did it that had a little flair and flash to it where it wasn't kind of off-putting. I've seen comments where people think that her type of celebration stuff doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? That's the era I'm from. That's when, I'm sorry, excuse me, that's the culture I'm from. Black people, Americans, we pound our chests, we talk, give me my respect, feel me, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Y'all know me, know about me, whatever. Chris Paul was saying that. We'll talk about Chris Paul later in the show. But he was saying that one of them games, y'all know me after hitting a shot or something. That's our culture. That's how we talk. But when you do it in a certain manner, you are going to draw eyes on you. And it's a shame that black athletes still have to kind of be careful of what we do and how we do it. Because sooner or later, they'll burn your bridge, man. Ask Cam Newton. It was all well and good when you were 15-1 and winning MVPs. And I'm a Cam Newton fan. I love Cam Newton. My son's name is Cameron. I call him Cam, not after Cam Newton. But it's just pretty cool that you still got a nickname after a black quarterback. And everybody that follows me knows how I am about the black quarterback. But sooner or later, your production don't stand up. You give them a reason, they're coming after you. And it's a shame that black athletes still have to be this careful. But guess what? It just is still what it is. I'm in the sports business. I'm in the broadcasting business. I call games. Sometimes I don't want to do something. But it is the game. It is what it is. As long as I'm not circumventing my morals or my sexuality or my family, my son, my daughters, my people, as long as I'm not, stepping over any of that, all right, well, what is it? Is it business-wise? It's corporate-wise? All right, it is corporate America thing. All right, cool, whatever. Whatever. But any of that other stuff, no. So it's a shame that black athletes still have to live that way, but it still kind of just is what it is. And when I saw her celebration, I'm like, white folks aren't going to like this. They're not. It's just not. Sorry, they're not. We have to be honest enough and openly and say it before we can help solve the problem. They're just not. So therefore, I hope she tones just a little bit. Keep busting ass. Keep blowing them away. FloJo blew people away. And just raised their hands in the air and smiled. And, Marion Jones did a lot of posturing. And, Lance Armstrong fingered the Doping Association. The people that come after you think like, laying on his sofa with the 4 or the 5 or 6 or 7, how many yellow jerseys and frames across the wall, laying on the sofa with his head back like this, and Sports Illustrated, bam. If I was an investigator, that's making me come after you harder too. You gonna put your finger in my face? Y'all know when you was a kid, get your finger out my face. I ain't touch you. Get your finger out my face. Get your finger out my face. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Get your finger out my face. Get your finger out my face. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Get your finger out my face. I'm not touching you. You can't do that. You have to kind of know how to do it. And see, once again, no one in her camp has been there for her. No one in her camp has been covering for her and hooking her up. And this is not about marijuana. They're trying to catch her as she's doping. Trust me. The marijuana test, God, it almost makes me feel like it was even more convenient stupidity for you to do it. If she's doping. If. And I know I'm going to get pushback for people. Oh, you're trying to tear down the sister. Those are people who don't watch me, don't know me, don't know nothing about me. No, I'm not. I'm talking sports. This has got nothing to do about sister, black people, white. I'm talking sports. If she's doping, it was stupid. It was even more stupid to smoke. When you're doping, you can't do nothing but eat tree bark and drink ice water. That's it. That's it. You're doping. You can't afford to do anything else. Why would you? You're going to get caught on the trees. You're going to get caught on the coke. And then they're going to come to see what else you got. And somebody told me today that they heard that marijuana sometimes is a masking agent for. I don't believe that. I've never heard of that. And if it is, that's stupid. That makes no damn sense. How the hell is marijuana a masking agent for a PED? Why would that be? That makes zero sense. But I think that's what this is, man. I think they're coming after her. And listen, there were some other women that had some questionable times. There were some other women that had some questionable time. Even on the men's side, if you look at Usain Bolt, right? He owned 7 of the top 15 100 times. All from 9.67 down to 9.58. That's fast. That's that's hawking. That's moving. There's only been 12 guys that have placed the top 75 times in the men's 100. 12. Nobody comes out of nowhere. Remember Ben Johnson came out of nowhere? I'm showing my age right now. Go watch the 30 for 30 Ben Johnson. Go watch the 30 for 30 on Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson came, and it says it on the documentary. Ben Johnson came out of nowhere. That happened, guys. Canseco kind of came out of nowhere. Somebody tell me where Canseco played college baseball at. Somebody tell me like what farm league he was out of, like what minor league team he played for. Canseco kind of came out of nowhere, right? Bash Brothers, nowhere. The Cheaters come out of nowhere. Marion Jones, nowhere. People didn't even know Marion Jones was a basketball player too until she was getting kind of her Olympic run. Why did we hear about her then? Well, we hear about everybody else. We hear about Rebecca Lobo. We hear about Diana Taurasi. We hear about Breonna Stewart. We hear about Candace Parker, Shamika Holtzclaw. We hear about Kara Larson. We hear about all these other female basketball. We don't hear about, huh? Come on, man. And I think that this was a luck find. This was a luck find. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to cash in. The more I talk about it, the more my soul is telling me I'm right on this. They're going to try to bust her with something else. Her time is too fast in improvement from what it was. She has her 60-meter time is an indoor. That's indoor. They run the 60 indoor. 7.27, and that's ranked 7th all time. That doesn't equate to a 10.72 in the 100. That didn't equate to that. 7 seconds to run 40, telling me only just over 3 seconds to run. Just over 3 seconds to run. Over 3 seconds to run the last 40 meters. Also, my man, IMDb7 is holding me down tonight. He says Canseco didn't play college baseball. The A's drafted him right out of high school. Do you know how many people would know that answer though, man? That's sharp right there, bruh. You should, man. You sure you don't want to do no sports talk? You sure you don't want to do a little bit? Just a little bit? I love my supporters and fans, man. I appreciate y'all, man. God bless, man. I told y'all I'm in a mood for one tonight. And we just getting started. We still got top 10 to talk about. We still got Chris Paul to talk about. I want to thank everybody right now. Anyway, listen to VJs on Sportsmanlike Conduct, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio. Thank everybody that's tuning in right now live on my StreamYard, YouTube, over here on my IG. Appreciate everybody. Love y'all. God bless. Have fun on the 4th, man. Also, too, I want to take a moment to dedicate this show to my grandfather who passed away on this day. And normally my family's very down about it. And I told Raynell, I'm like, yo, I'm celebrating my grandfather. Enough of the mourning. I'm celebrating what a great man he was. I told her, our kids, we telling the kids, it ain't 4th of July no more. It's Grandpa Day. That's what it is in my house from now on. It's not 4th of July no more. It's Grandpa Day. We celebrate Clarence Edward Spearman. My grandfather, my son, middle name is after my granddad. My grandfather was the greatest man I knew. Not a man of many words, very quiet individual, but when he spoke, what he said carried a lot of weight. And 9 times out of 10, it was meant to scare the shit out of you. And it did. I was terrified of my grandfather. Not in a bad way. I just didn't do nothing wrong by him. I might have got one spanking from my grandfather my entire life. And one other time, I think when I was a young teenager, he spanked me, but he was mad at my grandma, and he took it out on me. My grandma was on them that day. Y'all know how old black country grandparents be. Y'all know how they get at each other. And my grandma was on them one day, and I did something so slight. And he was like, this for everything else. I'm like, come on, man. You can't let a whooping build up. Either whoop me for what I did or let that shit ride. You know what I'm saying? Either whoop me for what I did or let that shit ride. My man DB7 said, I'm from oh, that's how you know, because you're from Oakland. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it don't matter, man. I mean, you knew at the end of the day. You knew. Y'all got the Warriors up there, you know what I'm saying? The Raiders left y'all hanging high. They shouldn't have done that. Should have brought the Raiders back to L.A., if anything, and left the Chargers in San Diego. Because they took San Diego's team like that. But, like I said, we got a lot more coming on today's show. But just to finish this up on Sha'Carri Richardson, I think this is more than the weed test. I think that they are trying to find whether she's doping or not. And the weed test popped up, and they fell into that. I think they fell into that. They did not see that coming. When the last time you heard of a major star testing positive for marijuana and not being able to go to the Olympics? Like, when have you heard that shit? I mean, the only people in the NFL that even do it is fucking Josh Gordon keeps getting in trouble for it. And Alden Smith. And Alden Smith either drinking or doing weed or beating people up or fighting or violating parole or probation or whatever he's on. That's really the only stuff you see, right? Who in the NBA is getting in trouble and gets suspended like that? Nobody. So you don't see this. Michael Phelps got suspended when they found out he was smoking weed. He got caught with the bong. They suspended Michael Phelps. Didn't happen to be an Olympic year or whenever, but they suspended him. He couldn't compete in any international swim meets or any swim meets that involve different countries. He couldn't compete in them. Pretty sure it didn't hurt his pockets and stuff. I get that. But the narrative today was, Michael Phelps could puff trees. No, he got suspended. Know your shit before you talk. That's why I think they're trying to use this as a black thing. We should let this one just ride as you're supposed to do right. You're supposed to follow the rules. And we know everybody tries to break some of the rules. I get that. But when you do, you have to suffer the consequences. Everybody watching or everybody that will watch this show and everybody's watching right now, you all will do something in life you're going to pay for, or you've already done it and you had to pay for it, right? And we weren't allowed to feel sorry for you. If it was a move and a conscious decision you made that you knew was against the rules, that's not trying to play a card. That's just like, bro, I mean, come on. That's like HGH, right? Like, you knew I didn't know what was in my smoothie. And you know what's in your smoothie? Smoothies are easy. Strawberries, blueberries, bananas, oat milk, chia seed, flaxseed, little ginger blend, ice blend. What else are you putting in there? You don't know what's in that protein powder? Come on, man. Everybody on the team's using it. Use what everybody else is using. Stop going out trying to do your own shit. If you got 53 starters or 53 people on the NFL roster and 52 of them are all on the same protein, shouldn't you probably do like the same protein? Or 52 of them are on 5 or 6 different proteins, shouldn't you probably do one of the 5 or 6 proteins that the rest of the team's using? Why'd you go to Budapest and try to get some protein? Why'd you order protein from Sheboygan? You thought that was going to work? That's convenient stupidity, man. Some fast men times right here, too. Also, too, as I mentioned, 12 guys in the top 75 times. Tyson Gay has a 9.71. Johan Blake, who I love a lot, from Jamaica, has a 9.69. He has 2 9.75s. Fossil Powell was also a great track runner. Has a 9.72 and a 9.74. Justin Gatlin, my guy, but was a cheater. Got caught, got suspended, came back and was clean. And ran well, but he clocked the 9.75 once again, cheating to get a 9.75. I remember everybody loved Mo Green. I always thought Mo Green was severely overrated. His fastest time ever is a 9.82. He was never close to, any type of greatness as far as sprinters. I thought he talked a lot and made himself more important than he really was. And then, of course, my favorite sprinter of all time, Carl Lewis, is only at a 9.86. And we know Carl Lewis was clean all the way. And he ended up losing that gold medal. Ben Johnson beat him. And because Ben Johnson was cheating, and he never got it back. So, moving on. The Western Conference Finals and the Phoenix Suns' path to the NBA Finals is either described as one or two ways. Chris Paul's either the greatest ever, the greatest to ever do it, better than Isaiah Thomas, top 5, top 3, top 2, second best ever point guard of all time. Like his nickname I saw on basketballreference.com, one of his nicknames is Point God. Wow. When you have Magic, Steph, Isaiah, Stockton, Nash, really? Okay. Or it's first round, no AD. Second round, no Jamal Murray. Conference finals, no Kawhi Leonard. Now, I don't want to talk about the injuries because they do suck. What I do hate, though, and vehemently dislike, is that the losses for teams are being blamed on the no time or the lesser time off, and that's why everybody's injured. Time has nothing to do with anybody stepping on somebody's foot. Time has nothing to do with somebody getting hit upside the head and getting a concussion. Time's got nothing to do with none of that stuff. Some of these injuries has got nothing to do with time. And if you take care of your body, there were other teams, guys, that have not had injuries, that did not get hurt. LeBron James just had his ankle rolled up on. That had nothing to do with time. And he's the one using it for the biggest excuse. Sounding like the biggest bitch and the biggest crybaby that he's always sounded like since he became like of his status. When he was in the league his first 4 or 5 years, I liked him. That's what people don't get when they're like, you're a LeBron hater. No, I liked him. I liked him at first. Once the ego and the narcissistic attitude set in, I was done. Because I don't like players like that. Always an excuse, always everybody else, always, nah. I don't like players like that. I told people all these years, all along, all through the early and mid-2000s, that it's not all Kobe. Everybody wanted to be, it's not all Kobe. Shaq had problems with Penny, so it's all Kobe. Shaq had problems with Penny, so it's Penny's fault too. And over time, over the sit-downs, him and Penny, him and Kobe on NBA TV, we found out the truth all along. But some of us can just see it. I know somebody could be an asshole, but that doesn't mean that you have to be a narcissist ass. A narcissist asshole is, that's like liver. That's like medium rare liver is what an asshole that's a narcissist at the same time. Jesus, that sucks. I'd hate to be that person. And I definitely don't want to hang around them. That's kind of what this playoff run for Chris Paul and the Suns have been like. It's been like medium rare liver. Like, I don't really, okay. What do you think of the Suns? I was on the show the other day. What do you think of the Suns, VJ? It's hard. I mean, Devin Booker, Ayton is a good player. I know we want Monty Williams to have Coach of the Year this year, but I think Tom Thibodeau kind of has less in New York and a harder job in New York than you do in Phoenix when nobody expects you to do anything. And you guys were really bad last year. You got hot in the bubble because of Devin Booker. You did get Chris Paul, and I predicted on my preview show at the beginning of the season they would win 50 games. Because I think he is that player. He can get you to 48, 50, 52, 53 wins. That he's that player. He does that. Doesn't mean that I have him in my top 10. That means I think he's a great point guard. But I hate the injuries. And I don't want to talk about them. But if you are going to act like that, this is like they took out a Warriors team from 3 years ago, or a LeBron Cavs team, or the Heatles, or Kobe and Shaq, or a Duncan prime, or even at the tip of the back of his prime career, like you took out one of those teams. If you're going to try to act like that, then I got it. Now I got to talk shit. And now I got to tell you who Chris Paul really is. Because a lot of people don't know who Chris Paul really is. I happen to do. No people in his camp. No people from where he's from. I have the same type of family members where he's from. Winston-Salem, North Carolina is where he went in Wake Forest. From Carolina, I have family all over Carolina. I have family that have seen him and been around him and known of him and known him since he was in middle school playing basketball. And I don't like athletes that circumvent the game. Harden had to grow on me. Because I do see Harden kind of circumvent the game to get foul calls and the way the referees call the game nowadays. And at first, I questioned it. But then I did think to myself, well, if they don't call it, then he won't do it. But when you do things as far as flopping, dirtiness goes, and then act like you don't know what's going on, once again, convenient stupidity, I have a problem with it. Chris Paul does a lot of convenient stupidity shit on the court. Like, I didn't mean to punch him in the nuts. for the third time in my career. You know, throw cheap elbows at guys. Like, he has created one of the worst moves that is called in basketball, is dribbling up in front of somebody, stepping in front of them, stopping and sticking his ass out, which could take a guy's knee out, take a guy's hip out, it's a dirty play. It's a hip check. They don't hip check in basketball. That's a foul. You get called for that. You can't hip check. He hip checks people all the time. He's a dirty ass player. And he's been a dirty ass player. I'm going to just come out and say it. Chris Paul is severely overrated. And he's overrated because he is in the era of where the numbers will say something first other than what our eyes see and tell us. The numbers will say something first other than what our eyes will see and tell us. And I'll do this. We'll start with the top 10 point guards of all time. And I'll tell you right now, you're going to be surprised what Chris Paul is. So let's go there first, man. Let's start with the top 10 VJs on sportsmanlike conduct, top 10 point guards of all time. Number 10, I have Gary Payton. Gary Payton is a 16-4-7 guy. He has a Defensive Player of the Year, 9-time All-NBA, 9-time All-Defense, Steals champion 95-96, and 10 times in his career he played or started between 80 or 82 games. The best ability in sports is durability and availability. Real quick sidebar, jump over here to the comments real quick, because I gotta appreciate my people tuning in right now. My man Sage Seasoning is tuned in, so I'll read a few of his right now. Fat Cat said it's true. She might be able to compete in 30 days after a suspension. Thank you. That's right. Back to Sha'Carri Williams. She's not out of the Olympics. She's out of the 100. She can still run the 4x1, which is going to be them in Jamaica. It's going to be USA and Jamaica. Pick or maybe Bahamas. The Bahamian women. I'm excited for the Olympics. I'm super excited. I missed it last year. I am going to DVR and watch everything. And I'm on the West Coast, so I'm closer to live than all of y'all back east. Tokyo, you know what I'm saying? You got LA and you got Tokyo, Japan, Tokyo. I'm closer to live, so I don't have to wait until weird, ridiculous hours like we've had to in the past where it's over in Russia or something. You got to watch shit live at 3 a.m. now. If it's 6 a.m. for you guys, think about it. They do everything on Eastern time. Eastern 8 p.m. time, even when they're doing things around the world. It's on 8 p.m. Eastern time or 7 p.m. Eastern time. So 6 a.m. for you guys is 3 a.m. for me if I want to see it live and not have it ruined by social media. Sage also says, you do realize Mark Davis made so much money from the state of Nevada from free land built world with classified facility, then sold it back. I'm trying to figure out what that means, man. Why you talking 100 million profit just to rent it cheap as they use? What the hell does that mean? I'm sorry, man. I'm not sure. Is that you, Sage? What does that have to do with the conversation what happened? Money from that by the WNBA team. We're now building a team, world-class facility. I have no idea why Sage Season is talking about Mark Davis and the Raiders, guys. We didn't even mention it. Maybe because I said that the team left there. Okay, that's fine. He's a Raider fan, so he's going to defend them anyway. He still owes me a sandwich and a ginger ale on a Raider bet, too, that he ain't paid up yet. Should have known, she said, they should, IMDb7 says she should have known that she had eyes on her. Any person of color, high profile, that is under the microscope. This event's only one time every 4 years, Sage says. Can't be ever thinking about slipping so close to the biggest event of your career. Everybody said this. No one is guaranteed another time, and you don't even know if you'll be physically say so or sad to say the suspension. And then my man says again, GP, Oakland zone. Okay, so my man is still in. All right, yeah, so Gary Payton, to me, I got him number 10 from Oakland. My man, I am DB7 is right, from Oakland, went to Oregon State and set up all types of records there. His son is up there playing right now. Mind you not. Steals champ 95-96. His durability, 10 times, 80 or 82 games, and he won a championship late in his career in 2006 with the Miami Heat. So, number 9, I had Steve Nash. Steve Nash, 2-time MVP. He's a 14-3-9 guy. 9-time All-Defensive Player. 9-time All-NBA. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm reading Gary Payton's again. Excuse me about that, guys. Steve Nash, 2-time MVP, 14-3-9, 50% from the field, 43% from free throw, and 90% from the free throw line. So just can put the ball in the basket. 5-time assist champ, 7-time All-NBA. He is third in assists, too. Also, too, guys, remember that. Third in assists, all-time, 10,355. That's a lot of dimes. So I had him sitting there at number 9. Number 8, I went old school. I had to get an old school guy in here because I feel like a lot of times in sports talk, we forget the old school people and we just want to talk about everybody today. That tells me one or two things. One, you're not doing your homework. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Two, you're just living off of today and living off of what you see people say, what you see on television and what you see on the shows and what you see people retweet. You're not doing any real research yourself. When you don't have some old school people, I don't care how many teams are in the league, there's just some guys that could play. Period. Jordan said it best after he won his 3rd championship, sitting there with the white championship hat on, 3-peat hat on, and the white championship 3-peat t-shirt on after beating Charles Barkley in Phoenix, and was asked, "Are you the greatest of all time?" His answer is so Mike, but it's so real and it's so honest. I don't think you can say who's better than who. It was different eras. I know that in my era, I did something nobody else didn't do. I won 3 championships in a row. I did something Larry and Magic didn't do. Now I can't compare myself back to Wilt and Bill Russell and those guys because it was a different era of basketball. The game was different. And I understand why we don't do that today. I hate top 10 all-time lists. I'll do top 10 positions because it gives you a chance to talk about more players. And I like talking about more players and talking about the league to try to focus on 2 or 3 guys. LeBron fans aren't going to listen. Kobe fans aren't going to listen. Jordan fans aren't going to listen. So those people, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to talk to you. I'll just continue to just talk other positions. So that's why we're doing the point guard position anyway. So, but Bob Cousy, I went old school. In number 8, I went Bob Cousy, Celtic legend, 6 championships, 8-time assist champion. He's an 18-5-8 guy, 37% from the field, which is hilarious. Like, damn, you shot 37% from the field, but there was no 3-point line. So I'm trying to figure out that number right there. But he's an 80% free throw shooter, 12-time All-NBA. Number 7, I know I'm going to get pushed back on this because people are going to say, oh, he was a shooting guard. He was a point guard. I saw him playing high school, okay? Triple overtime against Woodbridge High School, 1992. He put up 63 points in a triple overtime game. And spring of 1993. It was the 92 season, 92-93 season. And spring of 1993 from Bethel High School out of Hampton Roads, Virginia, out of Newport News, Bad News, whatever they call it down there. My man, the answer. AI comes in at number 7 for me as point guards of all time. 27, 4, 6, 53% from the field, 31% from 3. Wasn't a great free throw shooter at 78%. Should have been over 90, in my opinion, because he had a touch. He had a beautiful soft touch. So I'm not trying to figure out how he didn't shoot over 87 to 90% from the free throw line. 3-time still champ, 7-time All-NBA, 4-time scoring champ, 11-time All-Star. I don't really like to put all-stars because that became a popularity contest, but it was just another stat I wanted to throw in there for him. Number 6, I have my man Jason Kidd, 2nd all-time in assists at 12,091, 2nd all-time in steals at 684, 5-time assist champ, won an NBA championship with the Dallas Mavericks, went to the finals 3 times. Remember, he took a Nets team back-to-back to the finals. But they ran into Popovich, Duncan, David Robinson towards the end there, and Kobe, Shaq, and Phil. They ran into that back-to-back years. They couldn't do nothing with that. They got swept. They got swept by Shaq and Kobe. They took care of them 4-0 out of there. They couldn't do nothing with Shaq on their side. Kobe went off for 37 and 38 2 finals games, like was just killing them and cooking them. But Jason Kidd also took 3 other teams to the finals. Also durability. 82 to 80 games, 10 times in his career. He was available and started 80 to 82 games, 10 times. That's over 800 games. That's phenomenal durability. The best ability in sports is availability. 13, 6, and 9, 40% from the field, 35% from the 3. And another thing about Jason Kidd is he improved his 3-point shot. He improved the shooter he was. There was a running joke when he first came into the league. People were calling him Asen Kid, and they said, why you call him Asen? He said he's got no J. Remember that? He has no J, and he worked on that. And I want to say number 11 all time in 3-point field goals made in his career. Almost got to the top 10 of that category. So he hit more 3-pointers than everyone in the league in NBA history other than 10 guys. For a guy that had no jumper when he first came into the league. Hey, I'm DB7, another Oakland kid for you, baby. I guess I'm representing your Oakland peoples today, too, because I got another Oakland. He ain't from there, but he up there showing his ass for y'all right now. Number 5, I had the Big O. 26, 8, and 9, 49%, triple-double machine. And I checked it this morning, too. There were like 6 of his years in the league. They didn't count offensive rebounds or steals. So we didn't even really know what his true stats and some of his true stats would have been, could have been, and should have been. I keep turning around because I have the Italy and Belgium match on. I haven't watched it yet. The Euro Cup, listen, quick sidebar. I know in our culture in America, especially in the black community, you don't watch certain things. I get it. But if you're not watching like World Cup, Euro Cup, CONCACAF, and just at least the Classico, at least watch the Classico. That's Real Madrid against Barcelona. They play it twice every. At least watch that. You're missing out if you're not watching international football. And you're missing out if you're not watching NHL playoffs. You're missing out. You don't have to watch the regular season. I get it if you don't get to watch every Premier League championship match or every La Liga Serie A match. I get that. There's so much other stuff in America to watch. But if you're not watching like the championship stuff, the best against the best, you are missing out. So I have the Euro Cup match on here on DVR. I haven't watched it yet. Belgium and Italy right now. It's in the first half. It's 26 minutes, and it's 0-0 in that game. So, and it's been great. France, Mbappe misses the last penalty kick. Mbappe misses that. What? After the World Cup showing he just had for France, for Francois, I start using all my accents when I start talking international football. I start to get into all my accents. Did y'all peep that? He's like, Germany. Germany is going to play Italy. See how I went Germany, and then I went Italy on you. And then España. They're in the quarterfinals of the football, of the Euro Cup. Y'all see how I flipped that around? Y'all see how I did that for y'all? And then if I talk about the Mexican team, Mexicana football. See, we number one. We be the best. Oh, God, I love what I do. Big O, 26, 8, and 9, 49% from the field. Was an NBA champ, 6-time assist leader. Check this. Number 7 all-time in assists and number 13 in points all-time. So he's top 13 in assists and points. That's phenomenal. John Stockton. I know a lot of people like to have him a little lower. I have him lower on the list because he doesn't have a championship. Number 1 in assists. Number 1 in steals. 9-time assist champ, 2-time steals, 5-time all-defensive player. Here's another great stat. 12 times in his career. 12 started 82 games. 12 started 82 games. Let me say that again. 12 times started 82 games. LeBron did it once. World went crazy. World went crazy. He's played every game this year. He's not load management. What are you talking about? LeBron, he wanted to prove to you guys that he could play every 12. And y'all was loving one. Y'all were loving one. John Stockton is 11-12. 13, 3, and 10. Numbers aren't inflated. I get it. 51% from the field, 38% from the three. I did not know that. I knew he was a good three-point percentage, but I know he's almost 40%. I thought maybe 34, 35, but, close to 39% three-point shooting percentage, 83 from the line. I thought that was better for some reason. In my head, I'm thinking I'm going to look and it's going to be 88, 89. Only 83 from the free throw line. But once again, number 1 in assists. And then one of steals at 3,265. And just just kind of went about his business. People always say, who's more important, Malone or Stockton? Point guard runs the team. It's easy to catch and be bigger and stronger than everybody and shoot layups a lot. Like, honestly, a lot of Malone are a lot of 8-foot jumpers. And, in all honesty, Malone could never play in today's game. If anybody goes, who would win between such and such and Malone? Who rules we playing by? We play in my area. We play in Malone's area. It's a wrap, man. Malone was big. He was strong. He was cut. He was muscular. He was a machine. He's a dirty bastard too. Isaiah Thomas still got that same scar over his eye, and he was a cruddy dude too. I think he had. All right, I ain't gonna talk personal. Anyway, but Stockton, I have it number 4. Number 3, my man Isaiah Thomas. I had to put Zeke in here at number 3. 2 champs, Finals MVP, assist champ, 2-time All-Star game, 5-time All-NBA, 19, 4, 9, 45%, 30%, 75% from the free throw line surprised me. I thought that would have been higher.
I haven't looked up Isaiah's numbers in quite some time. Number 9 in assists, number 17 in steals in his career. So he's a top 10 assist guy of all time. And he only played 13 years, too. So he didn't have the longevity that some of these other guys that have played longer than him and have more assists from him. I mean, if I went to the assists list, which I think I already have up, if I went to the assist list and looked up where that's the point guard list that I had up earlier today. I had an assist list up. I don't know where the hell it went, but if I had to, there we go. Here we are. If I had to go look up the assist list, I thought he would have been much higher than where Isaiah Thomas was at 9. LeBron, Big O, Magic, Chris Paul, Mark Jackson, Steve Nash, J. Kidd, and John Stockton. And nobody is catching Stockton at 15,806 assists all time. He's the all-time leader in assists. He's the all-time leader in steals. Nobody's catching neither one of these. I don't even think anybody is catching steals. When I look at steals, he's at 32.65. The closest person to him is Chris Paul at 23.32, which sits 5th right now. He's almost 1,000 steals behind him. I mean, you'd have to if you got 2,316 years, you're not catching him. The only other active player is LeBron James at 2,063. He's not getting another 1,300 steals in his career. And then Andre Iguodala at 1,734, sitting at number 21. Those are the only 3 active players right now as far as steals go. I was surprised to see Kobe as low as 16. I thought he might have been a little higher. Kobe sits at 16, just under 2,000 at 1944. But John Stockton, number 1 in both. Isaiah Thomas in steals, number 17, so he's the top 20 there. But also, too, had to go through Lakers, had to go through Boston, had to go through Philly, had to go through the Bulls, and then the Bulls finally took them out. Got jilted on Team USA, however people feel about that, or whatever the decision was, or whatever people want to believe, how that all went down, whatever. But at the end of the day, one of the greatest, and probably be number 2 if I didn't have this guy surpass him, only because what this guy does is just so monumental to the game of basketball, and that's Chef Steph Curry, and he's sitting right now at number 2 for me. 3 champs, 2-time scoring champ, still champ, 2-time MVP, the only unanimous ever, 25, 5, and 6, 48% from the field, 43 from the 3, 90 from the free throw. I mean, he has an opportunity to be and finish his career as a 50, 40, 90 guy. It'll take some 52 and 53%, 54, 55% shooting percentages over the next few years to jump 48 over some drives and some easy buckets and layups to jump over. And right now, Italy is taking a lead 1-0 on Belgium and the UEFA Euro 2020 quarterfinal in the 33rd minute. This stadium not as packed and crowded as some of these other ones in other countries. This is Wembley Stadium in London, so they haven't lifted. But some of these other stadiums in some of these other countries, they just said, fuck it, everybody come in. It's Euro Cup. Everybody come in. We ain't tripping. You know, we all going to die. We all going to die somewhere. We all going to die some way. So, but what this gentleman has done, Steph Curry, as far as what he's brought to Oakland, what he's done to that Warrior franchise, he's the greatest shooter we've ever seen of all time. He's going to be the greatest three-point shooter. He's going to have the highest percentage per shot, amount of shots taken, amount of three-pointers made, amount of points come from three-point line. He's probably going to lead the league one day in amount of points from three-point plays, from getting fouled. He's probably going to lead from 4-point. Let's check out 4-point plays. I'll look that up real quick. Who all-time leader in 4-point plays in the NBA? All-time leader in 4-point plays in NBA history. And let's see what we come up with. Let's see what the internet. Nope, points leader, 4-point play. Here we go. Let's see. This will be interesting. So Steph Curry, okay, he's got some way to go. Oh, this is a great topic. This is a great, real quick sidebar. Nobody will guess who number 1 is. Nobody's going to guess who 1 is. And I'm shocked at who number 2 is. I am shocked at who number 2 is. And I'm not too shocked at number 1, but I wouldn't have guessed number 1. Number one player of all-time 4-point plays in NBA history is Jamal Crawford with 47. With 47. And what's crazy is this has to be the craziest stat on this list. JJ Redick is second with 25. JJ Redick is second with 25. Reggie Miller, third with 23. Kobe Bryant, fourth with 15. There's Steph at 15. So Steph has a ways to go. I think he'll pass Redick and become second. I don't know if he's catching 47. How the hell is Jamal Crawford at 47 4-point plays? Jesus. Dirk with 14, Kevin Durant with 13 to round out that list. And it's crazy that James Harden doesn't, I don't know where. I'm sorry, James Harden has 34. He's not on the list, but James Harden has 34. James Harden is second all time with 34. So yeah, Jamal Crawford 47, James Harden with 34, 25 for JJ Redick, 23 for Reggie Miller, Kobe Bryant, Dirk at 15, Kobe at 17, Steph at 15, Dirk at 14, Kevin Durant. All right, so that was interesting. I never thought to even look that stat up or try to find a stat. But yeah, Jamal Crawford's number one. That's crazy right there. Jesus. He sets the record. 47? Who's guarding Jamal Crawford? So I think Steph Curry won't end up the leader there, but he'll be somewhere near the top. And then my number one point guard, 6 in assists, 22nd in steals, Magic Johnson. Even if you want to go against it, even if you want to try to pick somebody else, Magic Johnson's got the 3 MVPs. He's got the 3 Finals MVPs. So that's 6 total MVPs in his career. Mike leads everybody with 11. He's got 5 season MVPs, and then he's got 6 Finals MVPs. If we count the All-Star MVPs, if you just want to see how many MVPs a guy's had, that could be a new topic. Pretty sure some nerd out there in analytics will try to come up with that one. 4-time assist champion, 2-time steals leader. And he's a career 27-11 guy, 52% from the field, 85% from the free throw line. Magic was a great free throw shooter. And he was 52% from the field as a point guard. A lot of layups, man. That's a lot of fast break layups. And I know that there's someone who's missing from this list. There's somebody missing from my top 10 point guards of all time list. Just to recap that real quick. At number 10, I have the glove Gary Payton. Number 9, Steve Nash. Number 8, Bob Cousy. Number 7, AI. Jason Kidd comes in at number 6. Magic Johnson at 1, Steph at 2, Isaiah Thomas at 3, John Stockton at 4, and the big O Oscar Robertson, Mr. Triple-Double himself, comes in at number 5. There's someone missing from my list. All the numbers will tell me that I'm wrong. All the numbers will tell me that I need to put this guy on. Why isn't he on my list? And that's Chris Paul. And I've told people time and time again how I feel about Chris Paul. I think he's a front runner, and I think he's a dirty player. And I don't like front runners, and I don't like dirty players. You can only mistakenly hit somebody in the nuts, so many times before I just see you for what you are and for what you do. He has circumvented the game so much. And I mean, as much as anybody. The fouls. There was a play in the game the other night where he shot a jump shot and grabbed the defensive player's arm, like on the forearm, and then flailed and flopped to the ground. He didn't get the call. Oh, yes, he did. He did get that call. And Tyronn Lue should have actually challenged that, and he didn't. But he got that call. Like, you can't, I get, it's almost like invisible steroids. What he does, the flopping, the dribbling in front of somebody and putting on the brakes and stopping and hip checking people, that's like invisible stuff. That's an advantage that's really should be ruled out of the game. The way he plays the game, great dimes, great assists, man. Jumpers, got the mid-range, got the fall away little jumper on the wing, off to the wing, on the low block on the box out area, on the paint area. He's got moves. I got numbers here for you for Chris Paul. Chris Paul has some tremendous numbers, but I always say in sports, there's always guys with tremendous numbers. And if we praised and made every guy a Hall of Famer with tremendous numbers, we need a Hall of Fame to be moved out to space. because there wouldn't be any room for it here. 18-4-9, 47% from the field, 37% from the three, 84% free throw shooter. Durability is not the best. It's not what I like. Only 3 times compared to 12, 9, and 10 twice. I've read you off this list already. Only 3 times he's been available 80 to 82 games. All defensive 9 times. 10-time All NBA. 5th in assists at 10,275. 2nd in steals. 5th in steals all time with 23-32. Great numbers. Hall of Fame numbers. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame because we just put people in the Hall of Fame based on their numbers now. Blown 2-3-1 leads. Never been to a finals. Could never lead a team. Like a great... This Phoenix team is not close to the Rockets team he had. It's not close to the Lob City, Los Angeles Clippers team that he had. It's not close. That team, those teams would have beat this team in 5. With a Chris Paul. If you could clone Chris Paul, but you give me that Chris Paul that was playing with those teams, come on, with Harden, with young Blake, DeAndre, Matt Barnes, JJ Redick, that Clippers team, it would have smashed this team. He's had teams that were better than this team up 3-1. This year, once again, no AD, no Jamal Crawford, no Claw. You should have gotten to the finals. Another problem I had the other night is the celebration just kind of seemed like a in-your-face. And I get it, but you haven't really earned the in-your-face moment because you've had opportunities to be much better than you've been and further than you've been in your career. And you didn't get it done. You don't really get to do it when you've gone through 3 injured teams and really give us a in-your-face type celebration moment. My opinion, just the way I see it. Just my opinion, the way I see it. Like, I get it, but come on, bro. You should have been done. You should be where you should have been here. By your talent, by the teammates, by the coaching that you've had, by the players you've had around, by the city support that you had in Houston, and the city support that you had in LA. Chris Paul's also a guy that knows when the camera's on. He's not a great guy. He doesn't have a great reputation from the NBA players. You saw Boogie Cousins yell out, and people go, "Oh, he was just saying that." He was people don't just say things like that just to say it. And you wonder why nobody mess with your corny ass, with your weak ass. You wonder why don't nobody mess with you. I've heard other NBA players or players around the league be like, "Yeah, he got his head so far up LeBron's ass, he can taste his breakfast." Not my words. Not my words at all, because I don't know how far up LeBron's ass his head is or goes, or even if it's up there. I don't know. I don't know if he suck up and kiss. I don't know. But like I said before, when I first started this conversation talking about Chris Paul, I know people around him and people that's dealt with him. Everybody didn't come together and just say, "Let's just say this about this guy. Let's just say this about this guy." Some of the stuff that you do, some of the persona you give off that people don't like is legit. It's true. It's okay. Everybody's not likable. He's not a very likable person. There are a lot of people in the sports world, in the sports media world, I tell you, Chris Paul, I'm cool on him. I mean, he made comments about a black female referee where, because she ejected him or gave him a technicals or whatever, and his comment was, if this ain't for her, if this ain't for her, if this ain't meant for her, that had a really male chauvinist tone to it. It really did. And I'm not that guy that only tries to pick that stuff apart. But I am, a son of a mother and a grandson of a grandmother, and I have daughters. I have female friends that I love and female cousins that I love. I have female fans that support me, whether it's comedy or sports talk. Like, I'm pretty partial for the ladies. I think men need to kind of get rid of that, that area of chauvinist that we still kind of live with in society. I try to ride with the ladies most times. So when I looked at that comment, it was kind of like, "Hey, yo, pump your brakes, bro. Like, don't, come on. You can't turn around and smile and say you didn't mean it that way. Convenient stupidity." No, we know exactly. Everybody knew exactly what you meant. It wasn't nothing new. Everybody knew exactly what you meant. But when I look at things like that, it makes me kind of look at him and go, that's your character. You guys remember the back locker room door incident when he played for Houston and they went back to the Clippers and went back to LA, and he showed them this secret back door to get into the locker room, which drew that confrontation between the Clippers and the Rocket players in the back tunnels and in the locker. Like, that's your character. That's corny. That's like getting paid in college when you're under the table, and then when you get to the NFL, you tell on the college. That's corny. You don't do that. You don't do that in nobody's neighborhood. You don't do that in nobody's neighborhood. That shows your character. And I thought that this was a cakewalk for a 16th year who got hurt again. Remember, when the playoffs started, he was hurt again. AD doesn't go down. They don't win that series. I had Lakers in 6, so I was mad that they lost. And I'm not even pulling for the Lakers like that, but I looked at that series, both teams healthy. At the beginning of the series, the Lakers are going to win this series. They're going to win this in 6. This ain't nothing. Chris Broussard from Fox Sports 1 from The Odd Couple made a comment on TV about 2 or 3 weeks ago on Colin Cowherd's show where he talked about how this has worked in Phoenix because it's young guys. But true leaders can motivate anybody. Why do I have to work for young guys? And it was told that when he would go to these other teams and it was older veteran players, they're looking at him like there's something that you're doing that you can't get people to listen to, that you had to go to a place where it's young guys to get to listen to you. Like there's something going on. And I don't think that's something that people talk about or put out there. When you do, oh, you're being a hater, you're being this. No, maybe I just kind of have a different view or know a little more something that you don't. He's not a top 10 point guard of all time. If the Lakers are healthy, they go out in the first round after winning 50-plus games this year. We're not talking about this. We're not comparing them to Isaiah Thomas. We're not comparing him to Steph Curry. He gets cooked by these younger guards, guys. He had a good season. But he also was playing with Devin Booker. How all of a sudden we forgot about Devin Booker? How all of a sudden this is supposed to be the next Kobe Bryant? You media people sometimes suck. He's the next Kobe Bryant. I'm saying it right now. He's the next Kobe Bryant. That's all I know. Okay? Then why didn't you vote him to an All-NBA team? He didn't even get voted by the media to an All-NBA team. You guys put Chris Paul on the third team. Stop it. Fuck out of here with that false ass shit, man. We don't do that over here at Vesson. So don't tell me how much you love him and how great he is. You didn't even really think it was almost like a lifetime achievement award to put him on the third team, but not Devin Booker. How's Devin Booker not an All-NBA player, but you're calling him the next Kobe? Kobe was All-NBA by his third year. By his third year, Kobe was All-NBA. I mean, Kobe Bryant. I can look it up really quick. Once again, Radio Land. Bear with me here, but if I can look it up real quick, I always have NBA reference open. So let's go to Kobe. I mean, Kobe Bryant, and he was going to be, he was going to be the next Kobe Bryant. So that's what they were saying, right? He was the next Kobe Bryant. Okay, it wants to act like it doesn't want to work, right? So I'll go back to it in a second. But everybody, he's the next Kobe Bryant. All right. Well, if he's the next Kobe Bryant, then we need to see that. Not being on an All-NBA team doesn't tell me you're the next Kobe Bryant. 3 injured teams. I don't know how much respect I give this finals run. There was a lot of posturing. There was a lot of posturing after the game. And it felt like a more in-your-face kind of moment. But once again, you don't get it's like the bully that's picking on you in the neighborhood. And you finally beat him up when he's on crutches because he broke his leg in gym. And that's when you decide to fight him and beat him up. You can't put your hands over your head and run around the neighborhood chanting VJ Umbaye, VJ Umbaye. Go goom goom go goom goom. The champ is here. You can't do it. You waited till he was down before you fought him and beat him up. I don't know how much you get to brag about that. That's what the Phoenix Suns going to the Western Conference Finals, winning the Western Conference Finals, going to the NBA Finals feels like. You beat up the wounded bully. So I'm not sure if you get to really cheer the way that he was. And once again, emotional, been through a lot. That's fine. A lot has been on you. You've been a leader multiple times and couldn't get your team there. You're not even the best player on this team. But this is how we do it with coverage. Now all of a sudden, it's Chris Paul. Like Devin Booker had nothing to do with this. And I'm pretty sure, and I'm telling y'all right now, I'm pretty sure Devin Booker don't like it. He ain't feeling it. I guarantee you Devin Booker don't like it and not feeling it. And it'll come out sooner or later. But no, he's not in my top 10 point guards because he does too many things that circumvent the game for him to accumulate his numbers and stats, and I don't like that. It's like invisible steroids. It's like invisible PEDs. Any player that get on the PEDs, any player that be cheating. That's why football is still king. You can't cheat football. That's why football's still king. I got my football right here. I keeps the pigskin with me. I keeps it with me. I got 2 or 3 footballs now. My NFL joint over there. My son Cameron got a few footballs around here. You can't cheat this. You could cheat basketball. You can cheat baseball. You can't cheat football. You just can't. You got to get out there man on man, buckle that chin strap on them shoulder pads, and it's man on man. It's body on body. You can't cheat it. You can cheat basketball. You can flop. You can flail. You can fling arms and grab guys and flop. I mean, God, nobody flops. You can't be in my top 10. Nothing, man, being a major ass flopper. He's a major ass flopper. And you can't be a flopper and a dirty player. He stepped on the back of Luke Kennard's feet. Let me tell you something. Some people are just pit bulls like that. And I was even saying about he's just a little pit bull, man. He is. He's a little pit. And pit bulls, if you ever have them or you've had pit bulls before, they know when to take advantage. They know when to attack. And he does. He's a little pit bull. And for that, respect. But doesn't mean I got to have you in my top 10. And he's not. Once again, my top 10, I'm sorry, I'm blocking my Instagram over here. My top 10 is Gary Payton at 10, Nash at 9, 8, Bob Cousy, 7, AI the answer, 6, Jason Kidd, 5, Big O, 4, Stockton, 3, Isaiah Thomas, 2, Steph, Magic Johnson. If Steph wins 2 more championships and ties him at 5, and 1 more MVP, which will tie him at 3, and would have been a better score than him. The only thing that hurt Steph is the 6 assists. Everything else is ironclad. He's going to finish over 90% free throw. He's going to finish over 40% as a three-point shooter. If he can get to 50% as a field goal shooter with the volume of shots he takes, he will be known as the most efficient scorer ever. Because people will go, oh, but yes, efficient. If you finish 50, 40, 90, that's efficient as shit over your career with 4 or 5 championships, with 2 or 3 MVP. Like, stop. It's too much. And none of it was circumvented. None of it was cheated. None of it was media. The media don't, I don't want to say hates him, but they don't love him as much as they love some of these other guys. Steph gets beat. Twitter, you guys pound Steph. Twitter pounds Steph. Guess what? Steph's a great husband. Steph's a good family man. Steph been with his lady from the beginning. Y'all don't never mention that about Steph. You mention it about LeBron all the time. And that's why we try to stay away from that investing. See, convenient stupidity. Y'all act like there's not other good black men that are taking care of their kids and being good husbands in pro sports. I don't do Chris Paul. Quick sidebar before we wrap up today's show, man. A bunch of quick sidebars. The Dallas Cowboys has been chosen to be the team that will be on HBO Hard Knocks. I will be watching because I have HBO on my. I got the HBO. What is it? I got the HBO Max, so I could put on anything from HBO I want to watch. So I'll be tuning in every week because Dallas is the star. It's Jerry. It's Jerry's world. It's the Cowboys. It's the cheerleaders. Dak's got 40 mil. You got Zeke. You got Amari. You got Gallup. You got CeeDee Lamb trying to put that defense together. McCarthy in his second year as the coach. A lot going on in Dallas. So I thought that was a great pick. It's not a bad team, so people are going to watch it. Every week is going to break. I think it's going to break ratings. And Jerry wants this. Bring the cameras in. Let it all out. Jerry wants to be the star anyway. Jerry wanted to be all up in the videos. Dancing. All in the videos. That's Jerry Jones. So Jerry Jones wants this. So I thought it was a great pick for them to take the Dallas Cowboys. And it's just an interesting team this year. It really is. I nailed their first round pick for Micah Parsons. I had that on my draft show. I had that on my on my drink. Oh, my sips is gone. I had Dallas taking Micah Parsons, the linebacker out of Penn State. I think they need that. You want to fix the front seven before you address the secondary. You could cover all day, but if you don't have nobody rushing the passer and stopping the run, I don't care who you got playing corner. You can't cover all day long more than 5, 6, 7 seconds, and then it's a wrap from there. So I have high hopes for what Dak's going to do this year, but I'm putting 1,000 on the Giants to win the NFC East because the spread is like +3. The money line is like a +375, so that'd be a 47.50 kickback off a $1,000 bet. And I don't trust the Cowboys. Washington has no quarterback. Philly is rebuilding. Giants have the best defense in the division. They get Saquon back. You add talent to that receiving core and get some speed there, and they play hard. That team plays hard. And I think Daniel Jones, is he Brady? No, there's only one Brady. Is he Mahomes? No, there's only one Mahomes. Is he Elway? No. Is he Montana? No, there's only one of them dudes. But I think Daniel Jones with some weapons and a running game and a defense that's going to say, listen, we'll hold them under 18, 19, 20 a game. Just move the ball, put some points on the board, 21, 24 points, we win the game. I think the Giants are going to win that division. My man, the N Hour, is up in here too. That's my man, Nathan. Does a great show, a bunch of interviews over there. He just jumped in over in IG. He's a big Dallas fan. So I hope he's hearing this. I just don't trust Dallas. And I've seen better Dallas teams. I've seen better Dallas teams go 8-8, 9-7. I've seen better Dallas teams lose home playoff games. I've seen better Dallas teams than this team. This defense is still a question mark in Dallas. So we're gonna get, oh my God, when Zeke, Dak, Jerry, cameras, HBO. I thought that was good. Another quick sidebar too, man. The way baseball has been going down, they have cracked down on the sticky stuff on the helmets. They've cracked down on the sticky stuff on the hats for the pitchers, and they're saying now that the drop spin rate on certain balls have dropped this amount time and this and that. Listen, there's always been cheating in sports. There's always going to be cheating in sports, and baseball has always been one of those sports that cheat. Baseball's always been one of those sports that cheat. Run through the standings here just to take a quick look. My Texas Rangers, we'll talk about them first. 32-50. They were good. They were sitting at 500, man, about a month and a half ago, and things just went south there. No pitching, and they can't get timely hitting. 17.5 games out of the AL West. Houston is in first place. I know everybody hates to hear that, but they're starting to separate themselves from Oakland at 50-33. 2.5 games ahead of Oakland. Seattle at 6, and the Angels out here just below 540-41. 9 out, 4-6 in their last 10, 2 wins in a row. In the AL East, we have Boston that is starting to separate themselves, 52-31. It's really kind of clingy and cloudy there until some things start to happen. We're starting to see some of these other teams become exactly who they are. If the Yankees didn't have elite pitching, they'd be 20 games under 500. They're 41-39. They're 9.5 out, 4-6 in their last 10 and lost their last one out. Boston's won their last 8-10. 8-2 in their last 10. So their last 10, they started 0-2 and then reeled off 8 in a row and put some space between them and Tampa Bay and Toronto at 4.5 and 8.5 back respectively. Over in the Central, Chicago White Sox. This division might be a little closer as far as the bottom teams go. Minnesota, KC, and Detroit are all 13.5, 15, 15.5 out of first place. All severely 10 games or more under 500. This is going to come down between the Indians, the 6 back. The White Sox are 49-32. On a 5-game win streak right now, so they're sitting pretty heading into 4th of July and the All-Star break that'll be coming up here soon. Over in the National League, the Mets, this division is about as close as any other division. You have the Mets sitting at top of 41-36. The Nationals are starting to wake up a little bit. They started off slow. They're at 500. I'm trying to figure out what happened to the Braves. The Braves were a playoff team last year, making noise, playing well, and it looks like Italy here is taking a 1-0 off, so that's still 1-0 between Italy and Belgium over in the quarterfinal Euro Cup 2020 in Wembley Stadium right now. But Atlanta, that was a team, they were hot last year. Acuna was on fire. Acuna Jr. was on fire. Pitcher staff was great. They hitting up and down the lineup. They were playing great baseball. And it's crazy. You play 60 games and you get a little off season. You get right back into it. You get a full season, no corona. You get full blown coverage as far as all your testing and everything's going well there. And then all of a sudden you show up and you're playing like this season. I'm going to just pause right there because I got a caller coming in right now. I already know who it is. I will introduce you guys, man. He runs the NR Hour on on Twitter, and he does interviews, sports interviews. Had a really good one with Monica McNutt on the other day that I thoroughly enjoyed. Thought he did a great job. Big Dallas Cowboy fan, jumped in on my draft show that we did live for the NFL draft and retweets more shit than a millennial thought trying to get a free ticket to All-Star Weekend. My man Nathan is online right now. What's going on, brother?
Hey, VJ, I just want to say thank you for taking my call, and you're doing a great job, too. So kudos to you, shout out to you. Your show is amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. What the hell are you doing up, bro? It's Saturday morning. What are you doing up at 6 a.m.?
I mean, we have to go to an event today, a football event, so that's what.
I've been seeing you do a lot of stuff, man. You guys wearing some red T-shirts, taking pictures, and talk to me about that really quick. Other than the interviews you got, man, what other stuff you got going on back east, bro?
Yeah, so since now that everything's getting back to normal, so our next goal as a team and a show is to go to in-person events, so we can make more connections. You know how it works. It's all about networking in this business. So our goal is to go to in-person events and make more connections. So last weekend we went to this NFL Legends Camp. There was former NFL players, current NFL players there, and we made a lot of connections for the show. But the main thing was it was for the kids. So it's like the NFL Play 60 a little bit, but they teach kids how to play the game right, the game of football, and showcase their talent. So.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I would love to get into stuff like that, but I got so much going on with school and my son and my daughter on the way, and close to nailing this Fox gig down and getting over there to Fox Sports, man, and hopefully getting, as a fill-in at first, and then hopefully one day having my own platform to push some of them old guys out of the way so we get some real sports talk back. So I respect that so much, that you get out and that you're doing so many other things than just your show, man. So keep hustling, bro. Like, you guys are, and you're a good family man too, man. I saw some pictures of I'm assuming that was like your brothers and your dad for Father's Day. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm 3,000 miles away from my family being in Los Angeles and everybody being back east. I don't get those moments, man. I don't get those days. So when I see other guys getting them, I like to just give them props on that and just say, cherish that shit, man, because one day it's going to be gone, man. So you do a great job at it.
Yeah, thank you. Family's important, and man, you like having these late shows, huh?
Man, let me tell you something. I hang my hat on certain things. Number one is I don't like low-hanging fruit. So I hang my hat on doing some outlandish picks and outlandish opinions, but I cash in on some of this shit, so I'll keep my style. I hang my hat on being pleasant to work with. Whenever I walk away from a studio, a network, a show, I want people to say, damn, he was entertaining, he was funny, he was cool. That's a cool-ass dude, man. I enjoyed working with him. And number 3 is I pride myself on working around the clock. So if I do a show at 3 a.m., I just do it at 3 a.m. If I do a show at 6 p.m. or at 9 a.m., it don't matter. Whenever I get the feel for it or my kid goes to bed and I get a chance to do it. So I feel like people respect that when they look and they're like, hold up, he's up at 2:45 a.m. in Los Angeles doing a show. And it's like, yeah, man, I'll get my sleep in, I'll get my nap in, but I wanted to make sure I got my Sha'Carri opinion out there talking about Chris Paul.
Yeah, speaking of the Sha'Carri, I want to speak on that because
go ahead, bro. You got the floor. You got the floor, man.
We're in a generation where we're in a new generation, but obviously they don't get, like, for example, someone tweeted yesterday. I saw an interesting tweet. Someone tweeted, they don't. If you drink alcohol, you don't get suspended. But if you smoke, they say if you smoke marijuana, and you get suspended. So there needs to be a situation where they need to fix something here. And it's Olympics. It's the one in a lifetime opportunity for these athletes to go to, and they treat Sha'Carri Richardson the wrong way. And I mean, obviously, certain situations you can't do the drug. I mean the marijuana situation, but I think in this situation you got to let her go. I mean, let her go to the Olympics, and because she worked hard for it, she's one of the best out there when it comes to running. I've seen her talent, man. Sha'Carri is one of the best. She's really talented, and I don't know why they're doing her wrong like this. It's like she owned up to it. She even owned up to it in an interview. So I don't know. I think they need to change the system here.
They need to change the system, you're right, but they're not doing her wrong.
Yeah.
In life, you have to follow the rules, period. I'm a dad. I tell my kids, you have to follow the rules. When you were growing up, when you broke a rule, you had to deal with the consequences, whether it was your mom or your dad or work or school. Do I think it's stupid that they test for weed and will keep you out of the Olympics for weed? Yes. But it doesn't matter what I think because I'm just VJ Vernon. I'm not the I'm not the IOC. I'm not the drug testers. I'm not the rule makers over there. So it just is what it is. And they need to lighten up on it. They need to change it. They could change it, but they can't say, okay, we'll change it and you can go. She's still going to the Olympics. That's a misconception that she's not going. She just can't run the 100. She can still anchor the 4x1 team because her 30 days will be over by then. And she'll be eligible to run. So she's still going to get a gold or a silver medal out of this. This is a small lesson. This is a learning moment. This is a learning moment. This is a teaching moment for all of us. I think it's a stupid rule, Nathan. I'm with you, dude. It needs to change. I'm with you. But you can't change it now and then say she can go. Because she broke the rule while the rule was in effect. It's a one-of-a-lifetime thing. You just said it so eloquently. Once every 4 years. Doesn't come around. Where is her circle, homie? Where are her people who was able to grab her and go, look, I understand you going through some shit. This was tough what you just found out. Let's go to the spa. Let's go out to dinner. Let's go take a quick trip to that. Let's go. Whatever we can do to make sure we don't fuck up Tokyo. And nobody was there to do that for her, dude. So if anybody's doing her wrong, it's her circle, player. You gotta have good people around. You gotta have good people around you, Nathan.
I agree. Huh?
You gotta have good people around you, Nathan.
Yeah.
We can't give her a pass, dude. Listen, once again, it's a stupid rule. I'm sitting here smoking right now, so I'm the wrong person to ask about marijuana. I'm the wrong guy. I live in Los Angeles. There's a dispensary on every corner. I know people that are growing it in their backyards. Like, legitimately. And the police are never going to raid them, never going to say anything. They're not going to do it. It's just what it is. But it's not like that for everything. So until it gets that way, you just got to choose to do what you're going to do. And if you get caught, just know that there's going to be circumstances. Now, I don't know if you heard me earlier. My twist on this, my flip on this, if you saw in the group I posted that I have an opinion that no one across TV and radio said today at all. This has got nothing to do with weed. They think she's juicing. I think that they found the weed they weren't looking for that shit. Nobody fails a weed test going to the Olympics, dude. Nobody does. You never hear this shit. Not from star athletes. Maybe some bobsledder we don't know, or some archery guy we don't know, and they're not going to post that. They're not going to talk. But Sha'Carri Richardson, the big name, the big colorful nails, kind of looking like this era of the Flojo. Yeah, we're going after. I believe they think she's juicing. They found this by accident, and it's a way for them to get her out of the 100. Why does this still investigate her? This is not my out on a limb on this is not over. They think she's juicing, and I'm gonna tell you why. Just really quick, and I'll let you have the floor back. When I watched the Olympic trials, I DVR everything. Right now, I'm watching. I got Italy and Belgium on in the background right now because I'm trying to catch up on my round of 16 Euro Cup before I start watching the Elite Eight this weekend. But her fastest time at LSU was 11:28. There have been 2,218 faster runs than that. Over 2,000 faster runs. She shows up and puts up a 10.72, which is the 6th fastest time ever. That is a big jump in track. And normally, it's because someone, and I'm not saying that she is, but when she ran, I immediately looked over to I looked over to my wife and I said, I hope she's clean. That was my first reaction. I said, I hope she's clean. I've not seen a woman pull away from people like that since guess who? Marion Jones. What do we know about Marion Jones? And Marion Jones ran a 10.70. That's 0.02 seconds faster than faster than what Sha'Carri run. And we know Marion was doing what? she was juicing.
Yep.
I think they think she's juicing, and they're trying to catch her. And this weed they found by accident. This was not what they were going after. Mm-hmm. And that's my twist I'm putting on this story. This is not over, and I hope and pray that she's not, because if she is, they're gonna find out, because they're going after her, so they're gonna find out.
Yeah, no, I agree. This thing is not over, but man, but she, I mean, I'm just hoping she doesn't put her career like this in a way, because like I said, she's a generational talent. That's how good she is. I think she's, in my opinion, she's one of the best runners out there. She
is.
The 100 thing, whatever she competes in. So, I mean, I guess this situation's the wait and see mode and see what goes on in the further investigation. But man, I'm hoping she gets to compete in this Olympics. But let's see. But also I want to get to real quick before I go. My Dallas Cowboys being on Hard Knocks.
Go ahead, brother. I knew that's where you were going. Go ahead.
What happened?
I said I knew that's where you were going. That's what I was about to ask you next. Go ahead.
Yeah. So actually, we had some recent history with us being on Hard Knocks before too. Back in 2001, I think it was. Like my friend, who's also a Cowboys fan, he said that he made an interesting point that we always struggled when we're on Hard Knocks, and he said Jerry Jones always loved the limelight, and he wants all the attention. So I'm hoping this year it doesn't repeat itself where we struggle during the season. So I'm hoping this Hard Knocks that we're on gives us more motivation, because I think the recent Hard Knocks we've been on, we've been struggling on those seasons. So I mean, we've been on Hard Knocks before, so I guess I think Jerry Jones always wants the attention here. So that's my opinion. That's why we're on.
I got your records for your Hard Knocks years. You're 4-12 in your Hard Knocks years.
Yeah.
You're 4-12. Now they're not 4-12 this year unless like Dak and Zeke get hurt, or Dak and Amari, or Zeke and Amari get hurt, and they're done for the year. And say you lose a defensive player for the year, a starter for the. They're not that bad, but I do think they're 10-7, 9-8. I don't. Last year, before Dak got hurt, putting up all those numbers, putting up all those points. When Dak got hurt last year, you were 2-3. So you were under 500 when Dak got hurt. You weren't 4-1. You weren't 5-0. You weren't even 3-2. You were 2-3, and you were fighting to win that game. You were fighting to win the game he got hurt in. So I don't trust Dallas as long as Jerry Jones is the owner ever since he fired Jimmy Johnson. I just don't. I've seen better. I had a Dallas fan on the other day, and I told him, dude, I've seen better. Spoon, Zeke Spoon from our group. Yeah. He was on the other day and did an hour with me. Dude, I've seen better Dallas teams go 8-8. I've seen better Dallas teams lose at home in the playoffs. That's better than this team you're about to put on the field this year. So I don't trust them. I'm putting $1,000 on the Giants, and that plus $375, $1,000. That's juicy, man. That's almost a $5,000 return. And they should have won the division last year, except for Philly screwed them in the last game of the season.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that's going on good for us is that we had the best looking cheerleaders in the game. So
and you have your offense. Listen, if I'm Dallas, I'm going for 30. I'm going for 37 a Sunday, and you're just going to have to outscore me. You can't fix that defense in 1 year, but with Dak, I would open this offense up. I would get Pollard on the field a whole lot more, and you got weapons, man. Just sling that damn thing around. Let Mika just become a young studded linebacker that he's going to be, and try to put the rest of this defense together. I think you guys would be smart to trade for Xavier Howard. He's out of Miami. All the stories I'm hearing, every text message, email, little inboxes I'm getting, is that they are working on a trade as we speak. Miami, Flores is coming from that Patriot system. He is not going to let one player disrupt what's going on there. And as a fan, I'm with him. And Dallas needs a corner. You guys need to get on the phone with Miami. We want your first next year.
Yep.
You know what we want. We want your first. We are known to stockpile first round draft picks. We want your first next year, and here you can have them. He'll get some picks for you and shit, but I mean, you still got other holes to plug and Jerry loves to pay guys. Get him in Dallas. Put that star on the side of his helmet.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah. So one more thing here. I got the Hawks forcing a Game 7 tonight. So it's going to be 7 games.
I got the Hawk. Well, I lost my bet because I had Hawks in 6, so I didn't cash in there. I needed them to really show up and play better, and they were really there in Game 6. I mean, in Game 5, they just didn't have Trey. If they have Trey, and I know Giannis was out, but if they have Trey and Giannis is still out, they win that game. Because at one point they got it to an 8-point game. They just couldn't get it any. You didn't have the star and the guy that could just bring it home for you. What do you think about my thoughts on Chris Paul being overrated, not being in my top 10 of all time, and that, if we really just want to take biasness out of this playoff run, first round no AD, second round no Jamal, third round no Kawhi, and they kind of celebrated as if they knocked off the prime Warriors or LeBron's 016 team from Cleveland or a Shaq and Kobe Lakers. Like the way I'm all for happiness and jubilation, but it kind of felt like a in your face from Chris Paul kind of thing where it's like, dude, you're in year 16. Like you've really missed your true opportunity to try to do it in your face with us, and you went through 3 injured teams that have lost major names and major superstars. Am I being a hater there, or do I have some validity? Where do you think? What do you think about that?
I mean, everybody has their own opinion, right? So I think, Chris Paul is not overrated to me. I mean, this guy worked his ass off throughout his career trying to get to the finals, and he finally made it. I mean, obviously the injuries could have effect to it, but it doesn't matter with the injuries. I feel like this team. I mean, I feel like Chris Paul, man, he put this team on his back. So ever since the Suns traded for Chris Paul, I said that was a great trade. I knew this team was going to be special, and I didn't expect them to get this far, but they proved everyone wrong. So I think Chris Paul finally getting to the finals, and if he wins this championship, book it, Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer for sure.
He's a Hall of Famer already, I think.
Huh?
I think he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, I give him his props as a great player. I think he's been a really good player. I just think he circumvents the game a little bit. I don't like the flopping. I don't like the borderline dirtiness that he does. And and when you've had the opportunity in your prime to get over that hump, 3-1 Warriors loss, 3-1 with 3-1 against the Rockets with the Clippers, let them come back and went lost. Like you've had opportunities as the leader, and you didn't come through, dude. You didn't show up, whether you were hurt or not taking care of your body or whatever the case was. You just didn't get it done, and I hold that. I hold that. I do. I hold that against him, but I hold it against any player that you're going to tell me is a great guy. He's a Hall of Famer off his numbers because that's what the Hall of Fame is really built off of. 18, 4, and 9, 47% from the field, 37% from 3, 84% free throw shooter. He's 5th in assists all time, 5th in steals all time. Durability is my own question. He's only played 80 to 82 games 3 times in his whole career, but he's 6-time steals champ, 4-time assist champ, 10-time All-NBA, 9-time All-Defensive Player. He's going to go to the Hall just off of his numbers.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's.
I don't know. For me, I don't think he's overrated, and I think for me, I'll put him in the. Obviously, he's not top 5. I'll put him in the top 10 list for sure.
Okay. I have him at like 11 or 12. My top 10, if you just really, I don't know if you're a listener. My top 10 was Peyton 9, Peyton 10, Nash 9, Kuzi 8, AI 7, Jason Kidd 6. I had Big O 5, Stockton 4, Isaiah Thomas 3, Steph Curry 2, Magic Johnson 1.
Okay.
You're right. So, I mean, you could put him in there, but you have to tell me who you're... If you're taking anybody out, I would think somebody's going to say take Peyton out, right?
Yeah.
I like Peyton's durability. 10 times he played 80 to 82 games, won a Defensive Player of the Year, 9-time All-NBA, 9-time All-Defense, and a steals champ. Like, and Peyton, it was more than just his numbers. You had to live through that era. Guys that aren't our age, guys that didn't live through Peyton playing, they don't know how good Peyton was. And it wasn't always about the numbers. We would not give a shit who Detlef Shrimp is. We would not give a shit who Carl George was. We would not give a shit who Sean Kemp was. we wouldn't give a shit what those guys were if it were not for Gary Payton.
Yeah.
Like, so I just kind of judge it by that. One last question before I let you go. I'm not sure how much baseball you watch, but all this sticky stuff on the helmets going on. Why does baseball do it to themselves? Why does baseball do this to themselves? Where we know you cheat, Like everybody knows baseball's a cheating sport. But if you want to crack down, why are you doing it publicly like this? Where you got dudes pulling their damn pants down, throwing their hat and their glove down in disgust. Like, I mean, this is getting kind of ugly, right?
I mean, I'm a huge Yankee fan. I'm a big Yankee fan. I love watching baseball, and it's not fun this year for Yankee fans because the Yankees are struggling obviously right now. But when it comes to the stinky stuff, I don't understand because, for example, if a pitcher is struggling. If a pitcher is struggling during the start, they still check them for safety stuff. I mean, there's no point of checking them if they're struggling because the ball, it doesn't make any difference. So I don't understand this rule now, and I don't know what Rob Manfred is doing. Obviously, as a commissioner right now, he doesn't have a great track record. So I think he needs to come up with another situation where the players are comfortable when these umpires check them. So. To be honest, this is a crazy rule, and it's weird seeing these getting checked all the time. Every inning, a couple games, I see every inning these players getting checked.
Yeah.
Every inning. So I think I don't know. Maybe if they get checked one time and if they don't say anything, then it's fine. So.
Tell all my fans where they can catch up with you, man. I don't want to hold you up. I know you got to go out there and do big things today. Tell everybody where they can find you, brother.
Yeah, so you can find our show, the NR Hour, on all social media formats: Spotify, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and podcast, the other podcast platforms. And also, we're waiting on iHeartRadio to get us in to take us. So I'm hoping iHeartRadio takes us. It's still pending, but you can find our show on those other platforms. And like I said, VJ, thank you again for having me. And you guys, you're crushing it too. And by the way, thank you for listening to my Monica McNutt interview. She is amazing. I learned a lot from that one. And if you want to get connected with her, I'll help you get connected with her for your show. And but she's amazing. And I just want to give a quick shout out. We just added a new member to our team yesterday. Her name is Caroline Perletsky. She's a social media person from Temple University. So she's going to add another asset to our team, and she is amazing. So I just want to give that shout out.
Temple, Philly in the house, man. My dad is from Philly. My dad is a big Temple fan. So was Bill. Bill Cosby went to Temple. Y'all know how you know how that turned out. Oh God, I had to get my one Bill Cosby joke in today because I think it's so stupid. Yeah. Like, listen, I'm the kind of guy with situations like what he went through. I keep my mouth shut. I don't say I think he did or I think he did. That's a very sticky and slippery slope at the same time. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I know there's her side. There's his Mike Tyson, same thing. Kobe Bryant, same thing. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. So I don't have an opinion because each side you pick is going to be wrong.
Right.
Each side you pick, I tell young kids out there listening, when you get into sports talk, don't jump on those sides. Leave those sides alone. Trust me, your career will be long and prosperous. You jump in those sides, especially in this era, somebody will find a way to come back and use it against you. So I stay away from it. I wasn't there, but I love to still joke. I'm a comedian for 20 years, so I can still get away with a Bill Cosby joke or two. The minute you said Temple, I immediately thought of my man, Mr. Puddin' Pop. Listen, man. Yes, we'll wrap because I definitely want to work with Monica McNutt and some of the other guests that you've seen, man. But I don't want to cherry pick off your list. Too much. I'm building. I know.
You don't mind helping. We can help you out. We got you.
I know, brother. I know. And it's all respect, man. Listen, have a great day today. Go through your thing. Enjoy your 4th, man. Have fun.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
All right, Pimpin'. That's Neither from the NR Hour, man, from Twitter. You guys heard him right there, Spotify, Apple Music. Good sports guy, too. He does a lot of interviews. It's his thing. He's a big interview type guy. And he's going to hook me up with Monica McNutt from ESPN. I like her. She's good. She'll be on Around the Horn. So she does a really good job over there on the round. Okay, so back to my baseball. We left off talking about the National League Central. Milwaukee right now, 10 in a row. They are on a roll. They have clearly passed Chicago, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is one of the worst teams in the league, along with Arizona, both respectively 20 and 29 and a half games. If you play for Arizona, it's got to be all for self. Like, you're not winning. Come on, we're 23 and 61. We obviously don't have, a good mix of chemistry and talent and players and coaching or whatever the case is. We ain't got it here if we're 29 games out and the worst record in the majors. But Milwaukee has 10 in a row. They have clearly went by the Cubs, Cincinnati, and St. Louis. St. Louis is under 500. Cincinnati's at 500. Those are two teams that probably will not be in the playoffs. Cubbies still have a chance probably as a wild card. They've lost 7 in a row, so they went completely backwards. Cubbies were in charge. Cubbies were rolling right now in the NL Central. And next thing you know, 7 the other way. Brew Crew gets 10 the other direction in the W column, heading up, and you get a 7.5 game separation. Man, this division is really big to me out here because it's a 3-team race right now between San Francisco, the Dodgers, and the Padres. Fernando Tatis Jr., Fernando Tatis Sr., he played for my Texas Rangers, man, and I'm a Texas Ranger fan to the heart. I've been a Ranger fan forever, ever since Nolan Ryan, Ruben Sierra, Ivan Rodriguez, they call him Pudge, one of the best catchers ever. Juan Gonzalez, Will Clark. That was a team back then, man. It was beautiful to see. I used to love my Texas Rangers, man. Great team, great hitters back in the day. My man Juan Gonzalez won a couple of MVPs playing for the Texas Rangers. He was a beast, too. But I have a lot of love right now for the San Diego Padres and what they've been able to do to turn that franchise around. Lost the last 2, but they've 7-3 in their last 10, 3.5 out behind the Dodgers that have won 7 in a row and really turning on and coming up against the San Francisco Giants. Everybody knows one of the biggest rivalries, other than the Red Sox and the Yankees, in Major League Baseball is the Dodgers and the Giants, and it looks like this division could come down, which I hope like the last week or so, this division comes down to the Dodgers. To the Dodgers and to the San Francisco Giants. Last game of the year, last day of the year, something, bottom of the 9th inning. And even if those two teams aren't playing, but they're playing separate games, and whoever wins is going to win the division, the other one's going to get the wild card right there. So they're going to steal one of those wild cards. If I flipped over and looked at the wild cards right now, in the American League, it would be Boston, Chicago. The wild cards would be Tampa Bay and Oakland right now. Yankees are 5 out, so they still have a shot. Cleveland 3.5, Seattle 3.5, and Toronto 4. So there's still teams that are within the earshot of getting in the wild card. Over in the NL, the wild card would be the Dodgers and San Diego. The Dodgers are a +3, so if the Dodgers just keep playing and finish the second, a game and a half a game behind the San Francisco Giants, they're going to be the wild card anyway. They're +3 up. San Diego, the Padres would be the other. So both wild cards would come from the NL West. That's how tight that division is and how they're dominating the National League right now. The Cubbies, Cincinnati, and Washington are all 6, 6.5, and 5, respectively, out of the wild card. St. Louis, Atlanta, and Philly, 7.5, 7.5, 8.5, and then again breaks down Miami, Colorado, Arizona, and Pittsburgh, and Arizona. And none of them have a shot. It's going to be between the Dodgers and the Padres. If the Cubbies can get hot, or if Cincinnati can get hot, that's it. None of these other teams are making it. Over in the American League, there's about 4 teams that's got a shot. Cleveland, Seattle, Toronto, and New York Yankees. 5 games out of that spot right there. Tampa Bay and Oakland start to flounder a little bit. Tampa Bay's lost 4 in a row. Oakland's lost their last back-to-back, both 4 and 6 in their last 10. So they have a chance to slip there, and Cleveland, Seattle, Toronto, and New York can have a shot. Outside chance, Los Angeles, Anaheim Angels, but they would just have to just go on a tear. So that's it for today, man. We've talked enough. I don't want to keep going on over 2 hour show. I told you guys to do about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Want to thank my man Nathan for calling in and talking some Sha'Carri Richardson, some Chris Paul stuff, top 10 point guards of all time, and Dallas Cowboys on Hard Knocks. Game 6 tonight. Milwaukee Bucks, Atlanta Hawks. I'm taking Atlanta. I think Trae Young's probably going to play. If not, I still think they can win that game at home. I just don't have Middleton, and Lopez is not having 30-something again. It looks like I'm trying to see here if he's so if Trae Young remains out, so they don't know yet if he's playing. Giannis has been ruled out already tonight, so that we know. That we know for sure. So we'll check in on that tonight. Also today, Euro Cup, the Elite Eight starts today. Something else to be looking out to. Also to the NHL Stanley Cup right now. Montreal Canadiens looking to get their first Stanley Cup championship since 1993. And the Tampa Bay Lightning that have won it a couple of times. I believe last year too. They won it last year. They won it a couple of times. The Belgium and Italy game is, remember I told you I got to do the accents. It's 2-1 in the 71st minute right now. So this one looks like it could be coming down the pipe, down to the end. Been some great games. Penalty kicks too. France, once again, Mbappe for Francois. Mbappe missed the kick. He missed the penalty kick. That's how the French talk. See how I did the accent for y'all? Mbappe missed the penalty kick in the football. In the Euro Cup. Yes. Oui. He missed the kick. Last kick. He's missed it. That's how the French do. He's Mr. Geek. VJs on sportsline.com, Spreaker.com. I want to thank everybody over here too, man, on my IG. Thank y'all for listening and watching. YouTube, StreamYard, iHeartRadio, Spreaker.com. We're approaching 20,000 downloads. Y'all keep just click, man. Just click. Also, on my YouTube channel, Invest in Sports on YouTube channel you're watching now, 30 seconds gets you a view. Help a brother out, man. I'll help y'all back, man. We'll be back on later this weekend. Everybody have a good 4th of July. And like I said, shout out to my grandfather that passed on this day 18 years ago. Love you, granddad. We celebrate. No more mourning. Celebrating my grandfather now, man. Shout out Clarence James Spearman. VJ's Sport Like Conduct. I'll holler at you guys, man. Stay blessed.